Good morning. It is now 6:50 a.m. MiHoYo will be dropping those character demos in the middle of the night, and I like to wake up for some music. So here we go. Also, it's worth noting, "All the World's a Stage" is a famous quote from William Shakespeare's "As You Like It." From the londontheatre.co.uk website, the quote goes, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts." As You Like It, Act 2, Scene 7. This Shakespeare quote summarizes how individuals go about their daily lives, interacting with one another. People will cross over one another's paths and see each other at different times, but will never truly understand one another. Even though we all go through the same phases of life, we experience them differently. Let's check out this trailer.
Ladies and
So, bum 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 bum. This is something we hear very frequently in operatic ballads, especially in the French time period. When we think about French Grand Opera, French Grand Opera was pretty long, about 5 acts, and it would go 1, 2, 3, and then there would be a dance section, 4, and then 5 would be the final act, if I recall correctly, based on my understanding of French Grand Opera. So something like this. This is an introduction. This is a sort of prologue to a dance. And the dance typically would lead into some sort of very complex ballet, especially in French Grand Opera. Ballet was a huge component of things like Faust had ballet, and things like Don Carlo had a ballet. Now, Don Carlo was written by Giuseppe Verdi, but there are actually 2 versions. One was the French Grand Opera version, which is 5 acts, all French, and then there's the I believe 3-act Italian version. And so this is very common to lead into a waltz. Boom, boom, chum, boom, chum, chum, boom, chum, chum. Anyway, I find that fun. And also the way that the strings go, you have to understand that the down bowing is rum, ba, ba, bum. So we go down, up, 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 ba, da, da, down, up, da, dum, bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. It's very like proclamatory, very inviting. It's like regality, inviting a king or a knight or a queen into the ballroom, if you will.
gentlemen, welcome to the most spectacular show in the history of Fontaine. Please put your hands together for our national icon.
Wow, listen to that. Listen how gorgeous that sustained horn is. I also think that right here we have these really fun notes. If you listen, it says, "Welcome to the most spectacular show in the history of Fontaine." But then listen.
The history of Fontaine.
Ya, ya, da, yo. Does that sound positive to you? No, it doesn't. It sounds kind of scary and a little bit like, oh, that's not so good, is it? That's a little clue that maybe things are not as good as we think. However, we quickly change that and we go back to the playing pretend.
Please put your hands together for
with this
our
beautiful
national
sustained
icon.
horn here.
Fontaine's biggest celebrity, one of the 7 archons of Tibet, the Regina of all
Swelling.
waters.
Do you hear this? This is a crescendo as they are talking about the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws. We have the swelling of the trumpet, and we have the swelling of the trumpet is actually what starts the swelling. We have that long sustained trumpet, yo, and then underneath that, we raise the volume of the rest of the orchestra that thrusts us forward into this heralding of FURINA.
Kindred peoples and laws, FURINA de Fontaine!
I love that. Hello. You know, it's very like, here I am, welcome, I am available for you, I am here, the star of the show. Of course, the accordion would be synonymous with Fontaine, so that makes sense to use it. It's very French, of course. Love that little piano. Ching! And we breathe and we come in.
Vocal cords ready, blood sugar replenished. Let the show begin!
That's very funny. Vocal cords, ha, ha. I wish that was all it took. Instead, for me, it had to be like, yeah. We're ready. She goes, ha, ha. The vocal cords ready, blood sugar. It's actually true that opera singers do tend to eat at intermission. We usually would snack on apples or almonds and stuff, something very like benign, but it's kind of a cute little like homage. Anyway, now we're going to some jazz. Okay, so we're going to lean into this 1920s swing. Interesting. Big band swing here. Okay. Fun. So this is based off of, I don't know if you know much about this time period in film history, but this is a silent film. And silent film, that's actually interesting because silent film typically was actually accompanied by organ. And you would go into the theater and the organ would be off to the center. And the organist would watch what was happening on the screen and you would just play along. Different chords, different stops, and all of these things would create tension. So I find it interesting that here we have this subdued guitar that is essentially like very, very vibey. And we're just like kind of cruising with FURINA here. Yeah, you know, and that guitar expresses like this effortless charm that FURINA has, inevitably. Like, she is incredibly charming, incredibly playful. Not a lot of seriousness in terms of the personality that we've seen. Obviously, we know that she's hiding quite a bit. But there's an air of like, everything is easy because life is great, even though I'm actually hiding some deep, dark secret. Hee hee. I love that. That's actually, that's fun. That is so inviting, isn't it? It's like, yeah, baby. I can do this. I am so smooth. And that's been her recurring theme. It's very playful, very bouncy, very effervescent, very, I've got this, I don't need any help, I'm a strong person, so on and so forth. I like that. And I like that we're essentially using, sounds like a muted trumpet. Hold on. No, that's a saxophone, actually. And the saxophone is a warm quality to it, especially when it bounds like this. We often think of saxophone as being this like sensual instrument, but actually the saxophone is a really malleable woodwind that is capable of a lot of different emotions, just like all the instruments. And this is especially fun because this is a very jazz vibe with the guitar underneath. I love that call and response. Not her dancing with a mustached Oceanid. That is funny. Is she Oceanid? Has this been unraveled? That's fun. So this is I really like this trailer. Obviously those are her companions, Craboletta and whatever. But this is also interesting because she's singing la 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 la. Super playful. And also, you should know that this chunk is very common in Verdi's time period, in the bel canto time period. Very, very frequently, we would have this pum pum. La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento, muta da cento di pensier. Pum pa pa. It's fun stuff. Oh. Yeah, like Farina really loves being the center of attention, you know. Boo-da-ba-bum, boo-da-ba-bum, blah-do, blah-do. Very, 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 very. This part's actually fairly sensual, and I think it makes sense because of like the idea of like paparazzi having your photo taken. There's an air of glamour. Boo-ba-da-bum, boo-ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, you know.
Natural smiles, please. Hold it and action. Good.
Oh my god, gorgeous violin. Very much this Gilded Age, like big movie like sequence where you invite all the cast of players to your show. Hold on. So this is really interesting. So that's very like, welcome to the show, everybody. It's so great to have all of you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And they're doing this dance number. This is very like musical theater-y and Broadway quality here, and how like all of a sudden we have this big shift from this. Listen to this. Yeah, so this is that melody. Oh, it's so fun. One more past. You hear how that's like so effervescent and playful? God, I love that they're fighting and dancing at the same time. This is Singing in the Rain. Oh, that's so funny. Look at this. This is the same exact move that Gene Kelly, I believe is Gene Kelly, does and I'm singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. It's very got this like movies like from the old days in the 1920s, 30s vibe where we're essentially using the environments to tell a story, and actually that makes I'm really reaching here, but Singing in the Rain makes sense because Fontaine and the rain, right? That's kind of cool. Wow. Love that. That is so charming. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I guess while we're here, I should probably watch this teaser too, huh? Yeah, again, we're going with this 1920s silent movie vibe. Okay.
Opera walks the line between truth and fiction.
Does it? It's mostly fiction.
For though the story is fictional, as far as the characters are concerned, their fate is real.
Yeah, that's very poetic, but it's also very true. It's interesting because when you're playing in an opera, really anything, I mean, even as a voiceover actor or a person on a stage telling a story, the truth is there. It has to be true for you, right? And that's the whole point of acting, is that acting feels true. And the reason why we resonate with it is because it's true. And so it's true that like in Tosca, Mario Cavaradossi does get put to his death. He does get assassinated. He does get shot by firing squad. His fate is real, no matter, even though it's all sung. That doesn't matter to them as characters. What matters to them is that they're feeling love, feeling loss, feeling hope, feeling whatever. This piano is very interesting. It's very melancholic here. It's very pensive. Look at that string section. We're probably going to thrust this gramophone
Are you and I the audience, or characters on the stage?
Told you.
Nobody can know for sure. After all,
Very
nothing
mischievous.
is easier to fool than the senses.
Very mischievous.
We know only one thing for certain, that the prophecy is true. Because in this show, the prophecy is a part of all characters' fates. Don't believe me? So, you still haven't noticed that I'm not even speaking to you. This is just a recording playing in your head.
Okay, girl.
Now, do you see? The prophecy has come true, and everything has been lost to the Great Flood.
It's so interesting to me because in some ways we get more of FURINA's real personality in this than we have in both in Act 1 through 4 of Fontaine. We're getting much more of the like nuanced depths, not ironic on purpose there, but we're getting some real depth here where I feel like FURINA has no control and she's sort of lost to herself. Interesting fourth wall break here.
And
This is
you
pretty cool.
are the only one I have left.
Oh.
And so, while fate may seem like it's playing cruel jokes on you, only fate will not deceive you.
Wow.
Unless you can first deceive fate itself.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the heck is going to happen here. Well, yeah. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you on the next one. We'll be streaming patch 4.2 in about a week to give everybody time to sort of digest it. Hopefully I don't get spoiled in the meantime. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.